Hi everyone, I hope you're doing very well. Today I wanted to make a video all on trying to explore more of your vocal range. What tends to happen is a lot of people say, you know, I'm stuck in this one position, or I need to fix my voice, I need to change this, but really, you never need to fix anything about your voice. It's just that you're probably only using 20% of the whole 100% scale. So a huge part of what I do is I try to help people explore more variety in their voice, which can help you feel like you can express yourself more, you feel connected to yourself, and it can feel like you are more free in your day-to-day communication. Now, to do this, we have to start with a little bit of a warm-up. So I'm not going to focus too much on breath and body and all of that. If you want to follow along one of my last videos explaining all of that, you absolutely can. But just for today, we're going to start with a really gentle warm-up where I'm going to relax the head down, feet are underneath the hips. I'm just going to very gently start breathing as I relax my head from side to side, just because the muscles that help your larynx change pitch are all in the neck. So the neck is something where we want to be really gentle of. I'm not really bringing it behind me. As I bring it behind, I'm not collapsing over. I'm just holding it ever so gently and back round again. So being really gentle with that. Now, as I do this, I'm actually going to start humming immediately. So I'm just going to hold a really gentle I'm almost going through 2 notes or so. That aren't too hard for me to do. 2 that are very easy. Once I've done that, I'm going to bring my head back up. I'm just going to start tipple-tapping the top of the head, and I'm going to give a brrr. Now, if this is hard for you, you can absolutely kind of bring your hands in, and that should help your lips start to brrr. Otherwise, you can just go to a if you want, because we're going to imagine that we're speaking into this part of our head with a brrr, and I'm tip-tapping all around the skull. I'm then going to bring my hands into my nose, and this is where I'm now going to speak from. So it's like a nino, nino, or a meow, meow, like an NY sound. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. I'm going to bring my hands into the cheekbones, and imagine that sound is now coming sideways. So a me, 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 ma, ma, ma. Me, 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 ma, ma, ma. So we had a meow, me. All of those lovely sounds so far. And then we're going to bring it into the chest. So I usually like to imagine I'm like a Tarzan sort of character. And I'm just patting the chest and giving a really relaxed sound. And that's where I'm going to speak from when I'm here. And then in the belly, we're going to give a big yawn and imagine all of that diaphragm sound is here. A big and that's going to be your lowest register. So what we're exploring here is a few different resonances, and we're trying to warm them up and see what we can tap into. If you are not an actor, and you just happen to stumble across this video and want to explore your range for day to day, then I would focus on just 2 or 3 of these. But if you're an actor watching this and you want to explore your whole range, I'd really recommend trying to tap into all of these. I'm really just imagining my whole body is like a woodwind instrument, and all we're doing is we're playing certain notes in this. So rather than thinking, okay, I hear a high note, therefore I need to go high, actually, a high note doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in the head, and I want you to be in the head. The head is an airy place. It's a really airy place. Same with the nose. It's suddenly got a really different quality. The chest is a really different quality to speak from here. And the belly is obviously a very different quality in itself. So it's not so much that we're just going up and down the scale in a pitch, we're actually tapping into different resonating bodies. The lower one with the yawn is creating a lot of big space, which is why it sounds like this. The chest feels a bit more forward, it's a little bit more literally just on your chest, say it with your chest is how this feels.
The nose is probably something that's easier to get into because of the nya 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 nya
kind of quality. And the head is almost like Luna from Harry Potter, and it's almost like this lovely airiness. So those are your different qualities. Now, it's totally normal for some of these qualities to feel more natural or safer or more normal than others. If anything you're doing feels like it's straining at all, take a break, take a step back, and you can always reach out to me in a consultation link if you have any questions, because if you're not used to this, sometimes it can feel very jarring. So now let's see if we can try expanding our text and put words to it. So let's think of a line of text. It can be a nursery rhyme, it can be welcome everyone, and this is what I'm presenting on today, my name is da 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 da, or it can be a line from a monologue, whatever you like. I'm going to pick Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And for me, I know that I usually live around chest, around head, and I want to see how much more I can expand these resonances, just to see if I can start practicing with a little bit more expansion in my range. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this head, because for me that's an easy in, but you can start wherever you like. And we're going to think about that Luna, Harry Potter, ooh, ooh, brrr, and I'm going to touch the head to imagine I'm speaking into it. And I'm just going to give Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And it doesn't have to be high-pitched. It can be down here, and this is also in that head resonance. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Kind of feels like a posh air hostess.
We're now moving into the nose. So nya nya nya, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, which feels very nasty, very, very crooked, very like witch-like.
And then we're moving into the chest. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And then into that belly, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And obviously, you'd feel a little bit strange if you thought I was encouraging you to go into a room and say, hi guys, welcome. But the idea is that we're really just giving our voice a really big stretch right now, so that when we go to say this line, it feels like we can tap into more of those areas. So for example, now I'm going to try and say the line, but I'm going to shift and switch in between them. So I might go, ooh, Humpty, yeah, Dumpty, sat on a wall. And the other way around, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and etc., etc. So that when I go to say that line of text, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. I feel like I have more space to play, more space that is freedom. And why is this important, you may ask? Because the same way that all of these resonances will have an emotional reaction to you. This resonance, if I spoke to you in my belly, kind of feels a bit warm to me. It feels caring, it feels nurturing. So if you're in with a group of people, or you're trying to, your action on stage is to warm or to connect with that someone, then maybe you do want to think about speaking from this like mama bear place. If it's in the chest, then maybe you're, to me this feels brave, this makes me feel strong. So maybe if you're trying to sound more authoritative, you want to speak from here, ever so slightly, just 20%.
This, to me, feels really cutting and really witch-like.
And then otherwise, up here, maybe it feels a little bit more intellectual. It kind of does for me. It makes me feel a bit more logical and a little bit like chill and Zen vibes, but also logical. So it's whatever kind of thought and feelings these give to you. If you tap into those areas, even if it's by 20%, you're going to probably make your audience feel like that as well. And that's why it's so important to expand your range, because so many people say, I feel really monotone. And actually that's not an issue, because you're going to be in one of these places, but the issue comes in where you feel like you can't express yourself fully because you don't have that access to the range. The voice is really, really simply a byproduct of our soul, of our emotions, of our nervous system, of our breath, of all of it. And so expanding this, as silly as these exercises seem, is a really beautiful way of tapping into more options that you have to connect with your people around you. So that's my rant over. I hope you have fun with this exercise. If you did want to follow a more structured exercise, or you wanted to know more information about this, I do have a 15-minute consultation link in the description. And I also, if you are an actor, have ongoing 10-week actor courses where we explore all of this and a lot more. So I'd love it if you could check that out. If you're still watching, please press subscribe, press like, share it with a friend, all of that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye.